Hello guys, Susanna here. Well, welcome to the July vintage sewing techniques, and this month we are doing crazy patchwork. So we are on the, was it penultimate as they say, the second last one. So yeah, so this is the writing that I'm going to use for crazy patchwork, which I'll put in there somewhere, but I usually show bits and pieces in books. I've got this, there's two books inside each other. I've got this other book. This is by Tilly Rose, and she's got bits and pieces in there. She's got the other book which has got crazy patchwork as well, but it gives you really good information on some of the stitches that you can put over crazy patchwork, like here. So you know, you just do little crosses. I mean, it's called crazy patchwork for a reason. You don't go too nuts. There's other bits and pieces. She's gotten something on here. Where is it? I think there's a little bit more in the other one. Yeah, that's that. Victorian haberdashery. That's been done with crazy patchwork, and you do all the embroidery like she's done. And I'm glad she's used a little bit of felt and stuff, so you can cover it all up. And you'll see in Corinne's one she's done, oh look at those beautiful buttons, has done embroidery. She's using her technique. Here it's sort of just splayed and put like that. That's one form of it. The way I'm going to do it is sort of a little bit more traditional, what I learnt in a class that I went to. So that's from the Tilly Rose book. And then here is Mandy Patullo, and this is sort of the more traditional crazy patchwork, which they used to do, and I really don't like the colours and stuff. So but she's done like that's a block and then put all the blocks together. You know, yeah, she's got all sorts of bits and pieces. There's her log cabin. This almost could be classed as crazy patchwork too, like a collage. So crazy patchwork is pretty much collaged bits of fabric, but there's sort of a little bit of an order to it. Oh, such a gorgeous book. So there you go. I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to take you over to a picture that I did of a class and show you bits and pieces of that. So hang 10. Back again. I thought if I go that way it reflects the light, so still reflects it a little bit, but here is a class and I loved it. I think I did this a gal's patchwork. I didn't go that crazy. I've got, like, as in doing bits and pieces, I did a little spider's web thing there. Sorry about the glare. Just use sort of old bits and pieces, and I think that's 4 panels which I've created into one. And then I'd done it, I'm like, that's it, that's my attempt at crazy patchwork. Did a lace thing in the middle, because I thought some of these ladies were making queen size quilts, you've got to be kidding. So that was my attempt, and so I got it framed really nicely, got pretty bits of laces, and done some embellishment. I mean, if the one I'm doing now is probably going to be a bit more embellished, but this I did, I think there might even be a date on there, 1999. So there you go. I was going to say early 2000s. So there you go. That's my work on crazy patchwork. Okay, I'll be back in a tick. Okay, back again. So what I've got here is just a piece that's the size that I will put in the book. Okay, so you need just a calico background, which is, it's going to go there because we need something to stitch it onto. That one that I just showed you, I did on machine, but for the sake of doing something a little different, and also it's a lot easier to show you here, I might put bits and pieces all around me. So I've got little bits and pieces, you can see off to the side here. I'll bring it a bit closer. of leftover bits of fabric that I've used throughout the project. So we've got bits and pieces. I'm just going to use, I was going to use the grey, but this seems a bit stronger, just to do like a little tacking running stitch. So we will start today. So what I'm going to do, this is, I think I kept this one, I used that for something. I'm going to put this in the middle. Where are we? I might use a little bit of this, so, and then maybe put it off to the side a little bit. Doesn't have to be straight. Okay, so we need a centerpiece, so pick something nice for the center, and that's how we're going to start. And then we are getting, what have I got? I've just got cotton, so nice big long piece of cotton. Then I'll get my pin cushion here as well. So we're going to find something. So this is the outside of what we're going to do. So I'm going to probably cover that so it's all good. So we will find something that's going to match it, and that will work. So if I want that along there like that, we'll see, that's really pretty. So that was left over from when we did the little quilty thing. So what I am going to do is I am going to pin that. I think that is a nice sort of plainy one. Okay, so we'll pin it here in the middle. Then this is where we need the iron, and I'll turn the iron on. Okay, so I'm going to start. Now we're going to go like 1/4 of an inch or whatever just here, and it's going to go through the bottom. So the beauty of this, at least it gets stuck through to the bottom. And we are just going to do tiny little running stitch. So quite enjoyable doing this. So we need small running stitch because we don't, this is the sewing. Okay, so doesn't have to be perfect. I think Corinne used this technique in when she did her log cabin. So this is sort of a bit of similar technique, but just a little bit more higgledy-piggledy, because it's crazy patchwork after all. So unlike the old crazy patchwork, I would like to use nice colours. I don't particularly like it when they do terrible colours. So okay, and we're probably going to end up coming out there. I'll come out here just to get it out of the way. Okay, so what I'll do, just to get rid of some bulk, now be careful, we don't want to cut your fabric. So get the iron, give it a bit of an iron, and I'm using the iron left-handed, and then we're going to fold that over, and that's our first little patch that we're doing. Okay, then we get something else, and he's a bit dirty, that's annoying, but you know. Okay, what else are we going to use now? We could probably do something a little bit more you know, pretty. And if I did it like this, you got to remember you've got to go across. So I might, so if you want to know what it looks like, actually I might go over, so it goes over the edge, pin that down, go across. That's how it looks. Okay, so that's this edge done. We're just going to go higgledy-piggledy all over the place. So so that's come out there, and then rather than cutting that off, I probably could. I'll just finish it off here. That'll do me. Not too worried about that, because I probably do need to start over this side. So I'm going to start in here, because it's got a bit of an edge on it. I'm going to come in a little bit. Oh, see, when it gets a bit tight, I've got a little trick that I do is you go put the thing through your hair, but be careful, don't pin your head. You don't have to do this, but I'm a little misfusso. That little bit sticking out, just cut that off. Okay, so we're going to just about 1/4 of an inch, and it doesn't even matter if it's straight or not. Are we in close enough? I could probably go in a tad. Yeah, there we go. Use that. Bought myself a new iron, but I don't know, it just, I think it's the circuit board thingy I've got down below. It just seems to cut out. So yeah, not happy, Jan. So use that little iron, which is fine. That's what I've got it for using on these projects. So I'm going to go all the way to the end, because I can. Put that there. Seems to be going off to the side a little bit. Love this fabric. This is the fabric that we used on the front. So that is going to be lovely. Everything is you know, bits and pieces of that we've used along the way, which I really like. Okay, so I'm going to just tie it off here. Probably do 2 rather than 1. And make another knot on this. It's quite rewarding. Back in the day, they probably would have done 1/4 of an inch line with, you know, a pencil or whatever it was, but we're winging it. We're just going to do it nice and rough. I like the Mandy, what's her name, look. And then by the time, because it's just holding it down. See, that way it gives us a little bit more. So that's being held down, and that's going to go over there. Anything on the edge there, I'm going to come in with my little scissors and these ones, and do the edge. It'll hold it down and put it into the book. Okay. Oh, see, didn't quite. Probably went. Oh, okay. Here we go. Got to see. Got to really make sure that it covers. When it wasn't quite over enough, but it's all good. There we go. By the time you do some stitching or whatever down on there, or you can chuck a bit of lace or whatever. Okay, now what else we got? I've even got a little bit of felt that is a little bit loosed over, but I'll probably use that next to this. That might go, because it's a long piece. You need longer pieces for the getting closer to the outside. Like that's a little bit longer, that's a little bit longer. So for now, we just need some smaller pieces. I'm thinking, do we need some blues, or do we want some greens? So we've got green here, which I've worked on. Okay. I'd like to have a piece that is in the greens. Right, I don't want to hide that. So okay, so does that mean we go over there? I can't remember quite how we did this. Usually it goes over the crop, but I really like it. I want to keep that. So just like what Corinne did, you just sort of work it in. When she did that log cabin, she worked it in because she wanted to keep the blanket stitching. We're just going to work in with that. So I'm thinking I would like to keep it like that. Okay, and then go over like that, and then I probably might have to somehow tuck that in there because I really don't want to lose that bit. Okay, I'm going to make it work. Okay, as long as we know where it starts. There we go. There. Okay, we start there. Okay, is this the piece that I was using? Yes. Okay, go in. Okay, we go right near the edge, and we come in. And make sure that I've grabbed hold of the green underneath, but we also don't want to, you know, cover up the picture that's in between. And the reason why I want plain is because I want somewhere to write the word crazy patchwork. So we do need a piece that is going to be plainish so that I can do some wording in there. It may be that piece or it might be another piece, we will see. So just stitch that down. I may, as far as we're going to go, or do we go a little more? I might go a little more. And then finish that off. Hopefully I haven't got it pulled too close to me and you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, now okay, when I get the iron, firstly I will iron that down. Okay, then I'll come in, be careful not to burn myself because the iron's pretty hot. I'll come in here and fold this down so it suits. Okay. There we go, it's going to go right in. There we go. Okay, and get the iron and press that down, and then I'm going to go over that with, okay, we've knotted that off. Okay, So what I am going to do here is cut some of this so we haven't got so much of the fabric, because we don't want that. And come over, I might even do this. Get this, that can hold that down for now, and then we come back on there and we are going to either tuck something in or just do a stitch which holds that together, maybe like a fly stitch or something like that. So where did I end here? So go across, get rid of some of that. There we go. See, this is how we can, you want something, you keep it. So we've gotten rid of a bit of that staining, but that's okay, which is good. Oop. Okay, so what colour are we going to use next, people? Okay. I'm going to have a little bit of that there, or will that go on the bottom? You know what, I think this is quite a big piece. I think that will go really nicely on the bottom, so I might do there we go. Start here and sort of go over a tad. See, I probably went a little bit too far over when I cut it before. I might cut it a little bit closer again. You just don't want bulk. You won't see that. Doesn't matter. See, it's crooked as a dog's hind leg. That's okay. That's fine. Okay, then we're pinning this here. Then we'll flip it over just to see where it comes out. Okay, so that piece here will probably be cut off there. I'm going to keep that, you can, and then we are going to stitch on there. Okay, oop. It's fairly thick, so I may just cut it off. This one's really thin, so it doesn't really matter. So I will start here. And then we'll do 1/4 inch. Okay. A little bit thicker, and you can tell. Oop. Ow. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really bother me too much if it turns out a little bit higgledy-piggledy. And when you do this on the machine, you know, you need something like this underneath. It goes really quickly. But this is my take on it, which I am doing. And, you know, it's quite relaxing doing it this way, and where I'm only doing the one, you know, square or rectangle, so to speak. So it's all good, and I think it's okay to just do this. Okay, now when we sew this down, we're sewing over that. It's going to be holding that down, so you probably should put a pin in here just to make sure that stays put. And as you can see, you use a fairly neutral colour, like a grey or a really lighty colour is pretty good, because I've got a lot of that colour in it anyway. You can't really see it. This is just holding it down. We are using a cotton, which is a sewing machine thread, so it's all good. Okay. So you just never know how these are going to turn out. They'll all be just that little bit different. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh, looks like I didn't seem to get it, but I think I would have grabbed enough of it for it to hold down. You can probably start chopping off some of these bits just a little bit, because they can get distracting. Okay, and then we get this and we iron that down. There we go. Oh, it's looking good, looking very pretty. See, I can probably do the word here or here too, so, and use this to really embellish using a flower or something like that. So okay, now I really love this. It's another beautiful nice thin piece that I've got, which I used. I reckon, even though that seems like it's the other side, I'm going to use that there. By rights, you probably should get something that's going to go over both of it, but that's okay. We are using the bits and pieces that we've got. So working with what we have. Okay, it's starting to, I wonder if I at least go to there. We'll have a look. Start there, go to there. Once again, getting rid of that bulk. Yeah, that's good, because we can put something there. We've got a corner there then. Yep, I like that. Okay. Starting here. Okay. See how it's evolving. There we go. Yes, you only end up with this tiny piece, which is a shame. So I'll cut this off. You never know. Might use a tiny piece for a bit in the corner somewhere that just requires something like that. I definitely wanted to put that in because that was part of our the hexagon that we did, the English paper piecing. So, and then this fabric here was part of the cross stitch, which we did on the outside. So I really love that we've got little pieces. That's what I'm saying, keep your little pieces. Skinny long pieces are really good because they will help on the outside. So, and okay, it's good that you're watching somebody else create a piece too, like Corinne, because oh, it's going a little bit too skew-if, and I don't want to lose those flowers, because you have a different take, which is what I like. Watch, you know, like when we're watching different people do this Journal of Stitchery, you would see all different takes on the same thing. And you know, we all got the same prompt, but it turns out just that little bit differently. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. It can be so frustrating trying to thread a needle sometimes. Okay. Once I've finished this, I've got to rethread the needle with more thread anyway, so, and then while I'm doing that, might pause and have a check how long the video has been going, whether I need to continue on and do stuff behind the scene. Okay, but it would be good for you to actually see the finished, like how it looks. Okay. Okay, I'll do this, and then I'm going to go, take that off. The fun part of this is going to be embellishing. Okay, and then doing all the lovely stitches and bits and pieces on the top. So that will take a little bit of time, but that's the fun part. So you can sort of see, I'll take it up to the camera where it's going. Now can you see that? Can you see where we've stitched and we're going around and around? So that's how we're going. So I'll get this. And even though this is brighter, this is the inside because it was a quilt. It faded on the outside, but I like that faded look. Okay. Oh, we're going. It's coming along. So we're at 32 minutes. I think we can continue going a little bit more. I'll pause for a sec just while I thread my needle. Okay, I'm back again. What I might do, because we, you know, like this is the first episode, so this is what you're going to need to do, is have a bit of a play with how certain things can look. I really do like that, and I'm thinking that's probably going to go on the end there somewhere, so we could probably do if we do this. Okay, so that will end up being like that. Okay, now here's another piece that's a little bit smaller. So what we're going to do, that'll be folded over like that. I will hold that down. And then we're going to come across like this. So this is where the, you know, these tiny little bits come in handy in the corners. So at the moment I'm just finger pressing. So this is how we are going to come along and do stuff. Oh, I like that. I'm just wondering if we can end up going like that, going across. But then that's got to go. So maybe I need to do this first. See, this is where we nut out stuff. Coming out over a little bit. Like that. Folding over, and then that ends up over the top. That has probably got to be another one of those that gets tucked under. Maybe. Don't know how quite it works. You know, this is sort of the unconventional way. I'm not a professional by any means. So that should be covered there. Could probably fold it over somehow. Okay. Even if it's not, don't even mind a raw edge. To be honest, I think that's actually, if it's going to have a raw edge, this would be a good one because it's such good fabric for that. Okay, what else we got? We've got these two. I do like this. See how it's faded? I'm thinking it's probably going to be a bit too small. Let's look. I might have to have something across here first. We'll see how we go. Really want to, I hope that it reaches the outside. I think I'm right in thinking that I do need, like, yeah, I think that's okay for there because that's that edge. So we are probably going to need something coming across, and I'm thinking that something might be this. Because it is felt. We can have a raw edge with felt. Okay, okay, well, we're getting there. Then that, need something going across the corner there. I reckon it's going to be that. I really like that. Okay, it's going to go across. Okay, so this is what you got to figure out. So I'm just going to go like that. There we go. Perfect. And then this last piece will have to go across. I'd have to join it just there again, bit over. Oop, here's my thread. I think that may have to come a bit over. Yep. Well, which I've got a bit of room, so that's okay. Because we're going to have it going there. Going over that, going over that. So that's how it's going to go here. Although that's going to go. See, it takes a bit to nut these things out. There. And then that'll be going across like this one. I don't think it's ideally how you do it, but this is how I'm doing it. Where's that tiny little pin? Here we go. And that goes across. See, that needs to go up. You need to, when we do sew, we need to sew up a little higher to make sure that we get that part. Okay, and then this will go underneath like that. I'm going to make sure that I get that, because that's what happened here. Like I barely caught it. There we go. Okay, does seem to work, and I'm just wondering whether that's going to cross there or that goes over that, and all you've got is this tiny little piece, which might work. What do you think, peeps? I think that doesn't look too bad, unless we have that on the bottom there. That might work too. I think that looks better with that, or this darker one. Nope. As much as I do like this, I don't think it's working. That's coming down there, going over the felt bit, and this is going to go underneath first. Just very rough. Then I'll go like that. There we go. I think that's better. Yep. And we got this tiny little, I think that looks all right. Unless we do use this. We don't have to use the felt, we can use that. And 10. I do kind of like using the felt, but we'll have a look. I just think we could probably just chuck it on there, go over that, go over that. And have this tiny little piece. I think that works, because we're utilising it, and then I'll just stitch that down, put a little cross, or I've got this embroidery that I'm going to put. I could probably put that there, and that'll even hide that. So yes, I've got this piece here. Where else? What about this? I reckon the felt could probably go in the corner there. Will that work? Or maybe this piece, or like that green. And go right across from there to there then. That works. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So you do all the stitching, you know, pretend that we've stitched everything down. That's why sort of you take your time. So there's only 2 semi-joins here. So I'm going to have to, so get to this point. Once it's all still like this hand stitched down, maybe do just a small little tacking stitch with this on the outside to hold it all down, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to do all our little bits and pieces. So in the thumbnail you'll see that they're all put down, but that's the idea of what you need to do in order to make this. You just got to do, where are we? I'm trying to You know, imagine that is like that, that's like this, you know, so you've only got little bits, because it's such an odd shape. Usually when you do, because I'm putting this in my journal, usually when you do this, it's a square. It would probably end here and it'll be about that big, but well, I have to fill in the whole space. So okay guys, I will catch you in the next part, where we're going to start doing some really nice fun bits of creating and putting lace and making it look really pretty. So okay guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.